How you doing? Mike Geringer here from Team Randy. We're coming together to give you our final presentation in FSE 301 from our company that we created, Stellar Solar. Founding members of this are myself, Mike Geringer, Randy K. Marks, Brian Wilcox, and Justin Oglesby, who will all be presenting different segments of this presentation. With that being said, let's get right into it. So anyways, giving you a brief overview, Stellar Solar's mission, we're here to provide alternative energy from parabolic mirror systems because we've created technology to make these way more efficient, so we feel like we can go ahead and cash in on this idea. Like I said, providing cutting-edge trough systems for municipal cities. We also want to construct the energy plants because we feel like that we have the technical know-how to exploit the full potential of our trough systems. We really want to immerse ourselves in all aspects that lead to the success of our product, that being marketing, research and development, and a bunch of other different aspects that will be covered in this presentation. So first thing that we have to do is identify our competition. Some of the leading alternative energy sources consist of hydroelectric power, geothermal, nuclear power, and wind power. But they all have a lot of negatives associated with them, and that's why we don't really see them being implemented on a massive scale and really giving coal a run for its money. With wind power, you know, it's hard to implement them in a region where there's no wind because without wind, I mean, you don't have the power. And another big thing associated with this is it's really hard to store the electrical power from windmill systems. And some of the negatives associated with nuclear power are it's extremely expensive to implement and construct the plant and actually run it. Another big negative is, you know, say you have some accident happens, you have nuclear radiation everywhere, and that's never good. Hydroelectric power, one of the big negatives associated with this is it can really damage the ecosystems and marine life that live around the water that's being extracted and converting into electrical energy. So before we go ahead and dive into this, we wanted to identify our problem, and we realized that at some point in the near future we're going to have to become independent from coal power for a number of different reasons that will be identified. But after identifying the problem comes the opportunity. We want to create a new source of power, some type of mechanism that will extract renewable energy, and to incorporate the following principles. Number one is sustainability. That's a big one. We have to look out for future generations, and to do that we need to implement a sustainable form of energy. It needs to be renewable. We have to become independent of fossil fuels. That's a big reason coal power will need to be replaced. If you don't have coal, which will soon run out, you're not going to have the energy in that form. We need something that's environmentally friendly, something that is not going to contribute to global climate change, just a myriad of other environmental problems. And probably the biggest thing is we need it to be efficient and cheap, and that's one of the big reasons coal power has not been replaced. Nobody has come up with an alternative to this that is comparable when it comes to cost. So anyways, I'm going to switch it over to Randy Marks, and he'll be talking about a little more about our marketing opportunity.
All right, I'm Randy Marks. I'm also a participant in Team Randy, part of the founders of this organization. I'm going to give a little brief overview of the marketing opportunity that we were provided with here at Stellar Solar. First of all, we have our solution. Our solution to the problem, which Mike discussed earlier, was that we need a more efficient, more reliable energy source than what we're currently using. Our solution is Stellar Solar parabolic trough systems. Now, how do we justify this? How do we justify the solution? What makes it actually work? First of all, we use renewable sources. Sunlight. Sunlight is something that's always going to be there. You're never going to run out of sunlight. Every day you wake up, you look out, sun's beaming, there it is. It's much more efficient when it's compared to other trough systems. For example, our troughs will be improved 1/3 electrical energy conversion ratio. A third more energy means a third more money in your pocket. And lastly, it's more environmentally friendly energy. Because we'll be able to convert energy faster and more efficiently, we're not going to be using as much money, we're not going to be using as much resources, and we're going to save the environment that way. Also, there's no negative byproducts. When the energy is used, it's used up, there's no burned fossil fuels, there's nothing left in the air, it's just sunlight. Alright, quantitative justification. Now, comparing these sky fuel troughs currently used by Nevada and Solar, that has one of these solar troughs, this is a bar graph showing you the fraction of heat converted to electrical energy. Now here at SkyFuel, one of our competitors, you can see that according to this graph, the fraction is roughly 34%, which is good on many scales, but if you come over here to Stellar Solar, see that we're right above 45%. Now that's the third that we were talking about earlier, the third ratio that we are producing, we're outproducing SkyFuel and really getting you more bang for your buck. Alright, so how are we going to go about marketing this? Our marketing strategy. I got a quote here from Michael Geringer, who you heard earlier. Stellar Solar staff is committed to putting in the raw man hours necessary for success. Now that's our promise to you, is that we will put in the time to make this work. Focusing our efforts to spread the word is going to be a big key point to our marketing strategy. Getting the word out there, telling people about Stellar Solar, letting them know that we're here. Next is training our Stellar Solar staff to become resourceful on all features, aspects of our trough system, and how they pertain to solving customers' problems. So the most important thing about any company is your staff. If you're not well staffed, if they're not trained, if they're not ready to go, you're not going to succeed out in the business world. Establishing and improving relationships with respected environmental lobbyist groups. It's more about who you know than what you know. Anyone coming out of college knows that. So as long as we can establish and improve these relationships and get our name out there, people are going to push our company. Utilizing traditional marketing strategies, such as billboards, flyers, television commercials, really anything to put ourselves out there, make us a big name in the solar realm. And lastly, constructing an informative and comprehensive Stellar Solar website. In the new day and age where everyone's surfing the web, it's very, very important to have your website up and running soon and have it be eye-popping, visually appealing, and simple for the user. Thank you. I'm actually going to turn it over now to Justin, and he's going to talk about the next couple slides. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Justin Oglesby, part of Team Solar, and here to get down to the nitty-gritty. First of all, what makes our solar-powered system so great? We have a sophisticated automated system designed to interface with the traffic. So we have the program capabilities of actually interfacing with these solar panels, and we're able to get more efficiency from the sun. So another feature that Stellar Solar has is its low heat absorbing composite body material. What this means is that the troughs themselves absorb very little heat, and because of that they're able to transfer more energy from the heat of the sunlight that it does absorb. And lastly, the heat transfer fluid that is used in this process is chemically synthesized and incredibly efficient at doing this job. It can work at very high temperatures, and it's extremely efficient at doing this job.
The next one, Rain.
So, what are Stellar Solar's actual targets? Who are we trying to market our product to? Well, it's to developing rural cities, places like Buckeye and Queen Creek. Mostly in the southern region of the U.S. So here in Arizona, and of course places like Texas. Cities in New Mexico as well. They have very, very high sunlight, and of course cities looking to become sustainable. Basically anyone who wants their city to be on the map for their environmental prowess. So what are our milestones? What are our plans? Stellar Solar, we're planning on having a plant running at full capacity within the next 2 years. This is actually quite a quick turnaround time for most solar plants because it takes a lot of time and investment to get these things running correctly. By 4 years, we're going to introduce and retrofit our solar trials so that they can be used for places like houses. So we're taking it from the plant and putting it in directly into your homes.
Go ahead.
So by year 4, we're planning on having our stellar solar trials put it onto houses. This is very good because it'll allow us to expand our outreach and put the power of our trials directly into your homes. And by the end of year 5, we're planning on expanding globally. These are going to places such as Europe and Australia. Australia is a huge potential for solar power generation because they have so much sunlight and so much space.
So again, thank you for your time and letting us give this presentation. We really appreciate it. I'm Mike Geringer again.
Randy Marks.
And Justin Oglesby.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Remember, here at Stellar Solar, we burn energy, not your wallets.